Okay, so if you've ever typed beginner telescope into a search bar, I guarantee you've seen this one. The Gskyer 70mm is a monster bestseller. We're talking thousands of glowing reviews. But the big question is, does the hardware actually live up to all that hype? That's what we're going to do right now. We're going to look past all those 5-star ratings and get to the real story. We'll break down what it does well, where it falls short, and really figure out if this is the right scope to start your journey into the cosmos. So let's start at the very beginning, the moment you get the box. You see, the biggest selling point here isn't necessarily what you see through the eyepiece. It's just how ridiculously easy it is to get started. I mean, think about that. 7 minutes. That's the time it takes to go from being packed in its bag to actually pointing at the sky. And here's the kicker, 0 tools required. That is a huge deal for parents with kids who have, a short attention span. Or really for any of us who just wants to get to the good stuff without any frustration. And it really is that simple. You pull everything out of the bag, you pop open the tripod, you attach the main telescope tube with one big, easy-to-turn screw, and then you just slide in an eyepiece. Boom, you're ready to go. It's designed so a kid could basically do it, which is exactly the point. And for what you pay, they really pack a lot into this kit. I mean, it comes in its own custom backpack. You get 2 different eyepieces for low and high power views, a little finder scope to help you aim, and they even throw in a smartphone adapter and a Bluetooth remote so you can take pictures. It's the whole shebang right out of the box. All right, so setup is a breeze, but that brings us to the million-dollar question. What does stuff actually look like through this thing? This is where we need to set our expectations just right. Let me tell you, you point this telescope at the moon, and you are going to have a genuine whoa moment. Seriously, this is where the Gskyer absolutely shines. The view is bright, it's clear, and it's impressive enough to light that little spark for astronomy in pretty much anyone. And this breaks it down perfectly. When you're looking at the moon, you get the whole deal. Sharp craters, the rugged line between light and dark, it all fits perfectly in the view. But when you swing over to the planets, it's a different story. Now, don't get me wrong, you can see them. You'll spot Jupiter's moons as little pinpricks of light, and you can even make out Saturn's rings as a tiny oval. But you're not going to see cloud bands on Jupiter. They look like small, bright dots, but hey, they're there. Now listen up, because this is probably the most important tip you will get for this telescope. The kit comes with something called a 3x Barlow lens, which says it will triple your magnification. Here's my advice, and the advice of experts. Just don't use it. Seriously, leave it in the box. All it does is push the optics way past their limit, and you end up with a dark, blurry mess that's impossible to focus. Stick with the 2 eyepieces it came with, and you'll get the best possible views. Trust me. So, to sell a telescope kit at this kind of price, there have to be some trade-offs, right? There's always a catch, and with the Gskyer, that compromise is pretty clear. It's the tripod. Yeah, we're calling this the wobble factor. Because the tripod is so light, which is great for carrying it around, it also means it vibrates a lot. So when you reach out to adjust the focus, the image in the eyepiece is going to shake like crazy for about 3 or 4 seconds before it settles down. It's not a fatal flaw, but it definitely teaches you to be patient. But the good news is you can totally fight the wobble. Here are 3 easy tricks. First, don't extend the tripod legs all the way. Keeping it lower makes it way more stable. Second, hang a little weight, like a water bottle, from the center to anchor it down. And third, if you're taking pictures, use that Bluetooth remote they gave you. That way you don't even have to touch the scope. And there's one other little personality quirk to this scope, the sag. It's kind of funny. You'll get a star perfectly centered, you lock the telescope in place, and then it dips down just a tiny bit. The fix is super simple, though. You just learn to aim a little bit high, and it'll sag right onto your target. So we've gone through the easy setup, the amazing views of the moon, and the character-building quirks of the hardware. So what's the bottom line? Who should actually buy this thing? Well, it really breaks down like this. If you're a parent looking for an awesome science gift, or a camper who wants something super portable, or you just want to take a really cool picture of the moon for Instagram, this scope is an absolute winner. But if you think you're going to be a serious astronomer hunting for faint galaxies, or if you know that wobble factor is going to make you want to throw it across the yard, you're going to outgrow this telescope really, really fast. Oh, and don't forget, this telescope has a cool secret identity. It comes with a special prism that flips the image right side up, which means it works perfectly as a daytime spotting scope. You can take it birdwatching or just check out ships on the horizon. That little feature adds a ton of extra value. Okay, let's wrap all this up with one last idea. Something that I think really gets to the heart of why this telescope is so darn popular. Look, you could go out and buy a bigger, more powerful, more stable telescope. But if that telescope is heavy and it's complicated and it ends up living in a closet, well, then it's useless, isn't it? The Gskyr's greatest strength might just be its simplicity. It's the telescope you'll actually grab and take outside. And for your first telescope, that might just be the most important feature of all.